Hey, welcome to Bonehead Truckers. This is a place we make fun of the dumb stuff we see out here on the road. So if you like this kind of garbage, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that daggone like button. Because if you don't, I'm going back to 2023. All right, too bad we can't take it back to 2016. You know what I'm saying? But maybe we could have that all over again. Let's give it a prayer. All right, because hey, this year is an election year. Yes, 2024. An election year, and a lot of things can either go wrong or go right. A lot of the people who watch this channel are either non-truck drivers. There's a lot of you guys. There's a lot of experienced drivers. I mean, a lot of old school heads. I'm just saying. There's a lot of old school people out there that watch this freaking channel here. All right, so shout out to the old school guys. But then, there's a lot of people that look to this channel because, hey, they're looking at becoming a truck driver and they don't want to be on Bonehead Truckers. So this video is kind of for you. Well, it is for you. Where to start in trucking in 2024? You're looking for it, you know, it's like, oh man, this is, yeah, there's a lot to trucking. There's a lot to trucking jobs, and it's not a one size fits all. Because a lot of people want to make you think that you have to be an OTR driver. And that's not the case. You don't have to be gone from your family for months at a time like people want you to think that. Yes, those jobs are out there, but there's a lot of jobs where you could be home every night, every weekend, so on and so forth. So what's right for you? That's a question you have to answer yourself. Now, I'm going to try to do my best to put somewhat of a blanket statement for I could answer most of you guys' questions in this video. At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself these things, okay? Do you want to be home every weekend? Do you have a family? Those two things should kind of come hand in hand. Do you want to be home every day? Do you want to be an OTR driver? It's like, hey, you know, I don't have a family, I don't have a house, I want to live out there. So what's the best route for me? Do you want to make a lot of freaking money and be a company driver at the same time? That way you don't have to be an owner-operator. Or are you looking to become an owner-operator? You're looking at becoming a lease operator. I'm going to give you, off the top of my head, I ain't got no daggum notes, I ain't got no nothing. The main thing that you want to ask yourself, say if you're a family man and you want to be home on a consistent basis. Okay, where do you live? All right, where do you live? If you live up north and say, you know, in the Dakotas and freaking Wyoming, there's not a whole lot for local drivers up there. Just think, if you live in a big area with a lot of people, the more local style work there's going to be. East of the Mississippi, be home. Most people can be home every weekend. Do you live in or around a big city? Well, those people need to be serviced. Is there a lot of warehouses? Guess what? There's a lot of trucks that have to go there. Most of the time there's dedicated work. You know, most of the time there's LTL work, meaning less than truckload. Those are the guys that are picking up 100 places, delivering at 100 places all at the same time. All right. And then you have your regional drivers that just do a little bit of things. But then you have your flatbed guys. Then you have tanker guys. They have different work schedules. It all depends on what you want to do. When you think of reefer drivers, you know, the refrigerated, your meats, your produce, and all that kind of stuff, most of those guys are going to be out minimum 2 weeks at a time. That's their company standard is minimum, sometimes 3 weeks. So just remember that. Refrigerated work, a lot of overnights, a lot of OTR, but it can be very rewarding. Flatbed, there's a lot of work to it. There's a lot of work to it, especially this time of year when it's all cold and everything. Understand this, the best way for you to make it in trucking today, say if you're getting your CDL, is to have all your endorsements and be open to doing a lot of physical work. Consider this, the more you do physically, the more stops you do, all that, more money. The less you do, if all you do is hold a steering wheel, bump a dock, wait, there's not a lot of money in that. You're always saying, okay, well, how much money can I make in 2024? If you're a rookie just doing a low-end standard job, low-end trucking job, you're looking at around $50,000. A rookie can make money $70,000 to $80,000 a year. Now, a lot of you guys are sitting there thinking, well, I want to become an owner-operator. You don't want to do that as a rookie. I'm telling you right now, very rarely does that even work out, especially if you're young. Now, if you're older, you have, sources of income coming in already. You're in a different level already. You're already in that business mindset. Basically, if you're wanting to become an owner-operator in 2024, I would definitely say that being an owner-operator should be maybe your side gig, because there's not a lot of people, making a whole lot of money this time of year, or during this time, all right, especially in the early part of the year. But, here last year or so, it's been tough. So understand, it's better if you have a lot of money, no bills at home hardly, or other sources of revenue coming in, okay? Because it may get tough out there. Leasing a truck, listen, if you're a rookie, these companies will try to get you to lease a truck because they're going to say, oh, you can be an owner-operator, you can make all this money. This only works for them. It takes a lot of, you're basically paying a truck payment for them and then taking a lot of tax burden off of them, putting it onto yourself. So understand this, being a company driver it may not be sexy, may not be sexy, but I can tell you this, you'll have a solid foundation, a solid company that offers health benefits, have 401k, they have vacation time, paid holidays, a lot of these places. These are things that, that are nice to have, that you don't think about, that company drivers, hey, well, I'm loving being a company driver. No stress. Once you're at home, you don't think about the next load you got to take out. You don't have to talk about fuel and maintenance and all that kind of stuff because the company takes care of all that. You just, company just says, hey, we just need you here at this time. Okay, got it. So you want to start trucking, but you don't have a trucking school to go to. A trucking school, you want to find something close, That's the best thing. But you need to find reviews. Google search trucking schools near me, but then go do a Google search on those and look for a review on those. Look for the reviews and see what they offer and all that kind of stuff. As far as company training, company paid training, you can listen, if you can't afford to get into trucking school, there's a lot of companies that do that for you, like Prime and places like that. I think Swift still does that. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll tell you to go to Swift. I will tell you. You think, oh, you make fun of them. Yeah, I make fun of them. Everybody does. But any real driver knows that, hey, the reason why Swift gets picked on is because there's so many of them. And then they have the big old freaking sign on the freaking side of their trailer that says Swift best in class. So they just they open themselves up. But at the end of the day, they have a lot of contracts around the country. I mean, a lot of contracts. All right. There's a reason why you see so many of them, because they're good. They're good. And you can get up in there and make some good money. I will tell you to go to Swift if that meets your purpose. So don't worry about what the online thing is going to be, because here's the deal. In trucking, you have to grow a thick skin, okay? Because I'm going to tell you to go buy a radio. Well, they're pretty rough on the radio. They just are. They're pretty rough on the CB radio. So get a thick skin. Trucking can be very, very rewarding for you in 2024. I'm not going to steer you away. But you need to you need to make yourself valuable. That way a company sees all these applicants, and so I'm just here, and blah, blah, blah. But if you have all your endorsements, you have a good, clean driving record, okay, and you're willing to do things that other drivers aren't allowed, don't want to do, and you want to put yourself out there and say, hey, I want to haul flatbed. You should go look on Indeed.com and say, flatbed. Darn. Just saying. So that's a good thing to do, especially when dry van freight is slow, reefer freight is slow. Again, If you could haul flatbed, you haul tanker, you could still haul a dry van. But a dry van driver is going to have to get trained in those things. So it'll take them time. See what I'm saying? So get trained on the top. That way, if I'm tired of doing this, I want to do some easy work, anyone can go drive a dry van. Anyone can. Anyone can go drive a reefer. Anyone can do that. Flatbed, tanker, not so much because there's training involved, and a lot of people don't want to go through training. If you have a company, there's one out there that I'm not a fan of their training, okay? And they usually have orange trailers. You know what I'm talking about? Their training only lasts just for like 2-3 weeks, but you don't get OTR training. I will tell everybody. I'll tell everybody, no matter what you're wanting to do in trucking, at least do, say if you went to Warner or Prime, you went to Swift, do OTR training. The reason why I say that is because you always want to know how to drive in the mountains. This time of year, this is January 1st, so if you're watching this in the summer, but if you're learning how to drive in the wintertime, it's really good then too. Summertime training is easy. The only problem is you don't get training in the snow and the ice and all that kind of stuff. So trucking in 2024, is it right for you? Are you willing to work? Are you willing to go that extra mile for a company? Or are you just willing to just, I just want to go bump dogs and do lazy man's work? Lazy man's work doesn't pay as many bills, okay? So if you're looking at that Lamborghini, well, don't even get into trucking. I'm just saying, don't get into trucking if you're looking for a Lamborghini to go buy. But hey, I'm just saying, you can make some good, decent money. You can make 6 figures. I wouldn't say everyone does it in their rookie year. I'm not going to give you that freaking BS. I'm not going to give you that. But you can make it in a couple of years for sure. You can make $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 in your rookie year for the right job. Okay, you got to pay some dues. Everyone does. I don't care where you start at. A little OTR gig where you just going coast to coast and blah blah blah, or you're a friggin' local driver, flatbed driver. Don't matter what part of trucking you're in, you have to pay your dues, because the way it looks, on the company side, these guys are young, these guys are dumb, and we're just going to give them the dumb, young stuff. All right, so let's just say you have a dispatcher. Dispatcher has 20 drivers on his board. A board is what they call, for the list of drivers. All right, they have all their experienced drivers. They have their go-to. They get the good loads because they know that they could get it done. You got your rookie drivers in there. It's like, man, don't know what this guy can do. So I'm just going to give him these easy loads. These easy loads aren't going to pay that well. What do you mean, Ike? What do you mean? A 1,500 mile load that could take a lot of good drivers 2 days to do may give you 3.5 days to do. No, 7 days in a week. But figure, you may get 3,000 miles. Doubtful. Right? They may give you 4 days on that 1,500 mile run. Now that takes up majority of the week. So I'm just saying, if you got to pay your dues no matter what. Local, flatbed, whatever. The more experience you get, the more you prove yourself to your company, to other drivers, to yourself, the more familiar you get, and you'll be good at it. But in that case, don't end up on Bonehead Truckers. That's my #1 advice. Don't end up on Bonehead Truckers unless you're doing the good things like winning awards and all that kind of stuff. I'd love to see some of that. Anyways, thanks for watching. Welcome to 2024. Hopefully everyone has a prosperous year, make a lot of freaking money. Look for us at truck shows. Look for us at other places. Boneheadtruckers.com for our shirts. Appreciate TRC Freight. Appreciate Blue Tiger Elite headsets. Okay, Blue Tigers, RTS carrier services for fuel discounts and factoring. DAT for load board stuff. Boneheadtruckers.com. And most importantly, I appreciate all you guys for being here.